is BOT10ART. My name is Lazaro Gomez, and you're tuned in to the Friday Night Livestream. Nicky, go! Hi. Say hi. Alright, go, mama. We'll see ya. What's up, everybody? Welcome everybody to the Friday Night Livestream. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is BOT10ART, and we're gonna do like we always do every single week. We're gonna work on some artwork, hang out. I don't know, talk about different things. It's been quite the week. So like, okay, so I started like this new like in studio streaming. You guys have probably seen it, where I have this camera that kind of shows everything, and I made some changes to OBS, and of course, when it comes time to the Friday night live stream, everything was all like messed up, so I had to redo all of that. And I was just here hanging out. Hey, what's up, Lila? And so I was hanging out here with my dog, just kind of getting everything sorted out. But anyways, we are here, we are live. We're gonna do like we always do. I just want to make sure that the chat is good, microphone, everything is good. It's been quite a busy week, challenging week. Of course, I've been doing a lot of 3D printing, and it was time for me to swap out the nozzle or the heat element of the 3D printer, or what's known as the hot end. So I had to swap that out. It was kind of printing really bad, and it gave me a little bit of trouble. And the reason why was my own doing, of course, because there's a certain way that you have to set it up. And I forgot that setup because it's been a while, and and so I set it all up, and it starts printing, and then all this PLA starts leaking out everywhere, and it's really funny. You could see it in the live stream, like I said. But every night I've been streaming the studio. It seems to be something that you guys like, so we'll continue doing that, and just see where it goes. Some of the videos have audio, some of them do not. I did get pinged by YouTube. Of course, it's nobody's fault, and I follow the rules. I thought that I had royalty-free music. I did not, so they asked me to remove it. I removed it, and everything was good. So yeah, some of the videos have audio, some of them do not. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, busy week. I have a lot of commissions, and we're gonna do, as I promised, we're gonna continue doing the Cotton Candy Randy pop. So you guys can see how I do that. I hope you guys are looking forward to the weekend. For some people, it's a long weekend. Martin Luther King Day is Monday, so it'll be a long weekend for some people. It is for me, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop working, because I do have a lot of stuff I gotta do, and of course this pop is one of them. So yeah. All right. I'm hoping that the in-studio stream didn't throw you guys off. I don't know if you were receiving notifications. I don't know if you were receiving notifications or not, but if you were, I do apologize for that. I was just trying out something new. But every Friday, it'll always remain, the Friday night live stream. That's for sure. That's this show where I get to talk to you all, hang out, chat, and all that good stuff. So yeah. Okay, so last we left off, I was working on this particular pop, and I was describing about how I seal this off. I put clay right here in this little seam, so that when you paint the pop, you don't see anything there. So that's the first step of the pop. I cleaned it all up. I sanded what needed to be sanded, got rid of some seam lines, and I think we're at the point where we're pretty good to move on to the next step. So the next step, obviously, is to do that luscious, very full beard Cotton Candy Randy has. So we're gonna start modeling right along this side here. We're gonna start modeling that beard of his that he has, right? So we're gonna start adding clay. And then he has this little hat. He's got big bushy eyebrows. So we're gonna get to all of that, but we're gonna start off with the beard. And normally I use all of my sculpting tools just like this, and I do hairstyles and stuff like that. That's very different than pops that you would buy in the store because they're very cartoony kind of looking, and I tend to do, like, I guess, realistic hair. But for this particular pop, being that his beard and his hair and everything else is cotton or cotton candy, we're gonna make it poofy and fluffy and keep it very cartoony. So hopefully we're gonna get pretty far when it comes to the modeling of the pop, and we'll see where it goes from there. And then hopefully we get to put them in the oven, dry them up, or bake it, and move on to painting and all of that good stuff. So the paint job is going to be relatively easy. It's going to be a skin tone for the pop. Of course, the pink beard, the green mustache, green eyebrows and hair, and he has this blue knitted hat that he wears. And as you can see on the screen right there, that's cotton candy ready. And then he's got these like jogger pants, I guess, or jogger. I don't know how to describe them, but they're like workout pants that he has on with a regular t-shirt. So we're gonna emulate that as best as possible, and kind of get it as close as possible as the actual character is in real life. So yeah, that's the goal for tonight. That's the goal for tonight. So if it's your first time tuning in to the Friday night live stream, allow me to be the first to welcome you. I hope you come in and like what you see, and find a community of like-minded individuals that love to hang out every Friday. Everybody kind of gets a behind-the-scenes look at what I'm doing, and we share information with each other, and we kind of help each other out and support each other. So if that's your sort of thing, I invite you to stay for a long time. But yeah, that's the way we do. That's the way we do it around here. And we do have two other segments that I added to the live stream. One of them is strange but true. Is where I give you a strange fact, and as a matter of fact, I got to get my phone. But I give you a strange fact where I share with everyone. And then later on, closer to the end of the show, we do a trivia question, and that's called Brain Tickle. So other than that, just hang back, relax, grab some snacks or something to drink, and just watch how I make pops. Watch how I make pops. Okay, so we're using the same materials again. This is Sculpey. Actually, it's Sculpey 2. Sculpey original is white. This is Sculpey 2, and as I showed last week, I have little tiny pieces, or I got the whole brick that it comes in and kind of broke it apart, and that way it's easier. I could just pull out pieces and model whatever I need to model, and I keep it in these little bags. This one's seen better days, that's for sure, but I have another one to kind of protect it. So that's what I use when I'm making the custom pops. And then I have a variety of different kinds of sandpaper, anywhere from 200. Well, 200 is really abrasive, but I do have 500 all the way up to 1,000, and that kind of smooths everything out. We have alcohol, rubbing alcohol. That's the secret that I gave everybody last week. And then of course Jeremy was smart enough to figure out that it's a polymer clay, and that's why it runs so well. And for some reason that slipped my mind. Like, I knew that a while back, but I just couldn't think of it. And Jeremy, of course, he what's up? And Jeremy was clever enough to say, yeah, it's a polymer clay, that's why it works with alcohol. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Alright, so I already have a piece that's pretty malleable. I've been kind of messing with this particular piece since the last time we were working on the pop. And again, it all depends on you, how much love, how much detail you want to put into your pops. I do know that some people, they do everything with a paint job. So they'll paint the beard, they'll paint hair, and just kind of leave the pop the way that it is. But to me, in my opinion, um, I like to put as much character as possible, right? I like to create something cool, to like, oh man, that looks so neat, and look at the hair, and look at this, and look at that, and it gives you kind of points of reference that you can look at, and or not reference, but points of interest, right? Things that you can look at and be like, oh, that's pretty cool, I like this, I like that. So yeah, I like to, like I said, I like to put a lot of detail into my pops and stuff like that. So they take a little bit longer than I guess average, but everybody's different. Maybe you're looking for that, subtle cartoony look, and there's nothing wrong with that. I tend to like a little bit more detail. That's all. So tonight we're gonna start with his beard, and I'm gonna have the beard kind of blend into the side of his face here, because he's gonna have a hat that's gonna kind of cover a lot of that. Like if you notice in that picture on the screen, his hat kind of covers his ear, so it's gonna be something like that. And then the beard will kind of, or the hat is covering the ears like this, and the beard is gonna kind of make his way that way. So we're gonna blend it into here. I'm not gonna do a really big bushy beard, but I will kind of extend it out a little bit, and we'll see that now. All right, so here we are, and the first thing I want to do, now that I think about it, reach. First thing I want to do is kind of lay out some guidelines, and I do that with a pencil. So this is my HB pencil, or no, sorry, what kind of lead? I think it's a 4. But anyways, this is what I use, and I kind of, guide myself through it to see where I want everything to fall, right? So I know that his mustache is going to be something like this here. It's going to butt up right against his nose. And, no real measurements, just kind of feeling it out and just kind of playing it by ear, looking at what I want. But here, I do want the beard to go this way. So straight down that way. And it doesn't have to be like super perfect. It's just kind of a guide to say, hey, don't pass this line. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be the same on the other side. So I don't want to pass this line. And I do want the beard to kind of come this way by his chin. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so I have a line, I have a diagonal line right there, and then one straight down. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and kind of pinpoint where that is. Because yeah, his beard is made out of cotton. But I like to have a certain level of uniformity when it comes to this sort of stuff, right? So that looks pretty good right there. And then I'm going to just start with a small piece. And for now, I'm just kind of, moving it along with my finger. I guess, yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to take off my gloves for this part. Here we go. Usually I wear the gloves if I'm, using the alcohol or something like that. But I think we're okay without it. So that's the beginning right there of the beard. And down here in the bottom, I want to make sure that I'm able to move the head around. I want him to be able to look, turn his head this way and stuff like that. So I'm very cautious about what kind of clay I put underneath here. So I'll probably stay right in this range right here. So that's what I do there. I make myself like a little marker. Do not pass that. And this is slightly different than what I'm used to, because when I'm doing hair, I tend to roll out real thin lines and then kind of you know, if I was gonna do his hair, I would just do like rows and rows and rows and rows of clay. But being that his beard is all bushy and you know, fluffy, I'm not being too overly cautious as to where I put this clay. But I do want to, you know, kind of shape it all out and make sure it doesn't bother the body while I'm doing this, and just kind of keep, you know, keep moving it along that way. So here I would do a lot of detail. Get his mustache here. Here I would do a lot of detail with the tools to kind of, you know, simulate hair. But of course, like I said, like I mentioned earlier before, I want them to have that like cartoony aspect to it. So I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna go ham really doing the hair detail because I want it to be like fluffy and cartoony. There we go. And just kind of, you know, keep adding, and then once you have the basics down, it's just like painting. So when you're doing a painting, you do it, you know, you start off with a sketch, and then from the sketch you start adding, you block out detail, and then once you get past that, you figure out your lighting and so on and so forth, right? And you start refining shapes. Same thing, only you're doing it with clay. Alright, there we go. And then if you notice on this side here, I just kind of tapered it off to nothing. So I could see, you know, right off the bat that we have a lot of clay on this side. So I'm going to start removing a little bit of that. But yeah, that's how quick and easy you can start building up details when it comes to custom pops. In just like what, in a matter of minutes, we kind of did this sort of stuff. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. I finally figured out that I can have my chat open. Like I have OBS over here where I could kind of see, just so I'm not doing this sort of stuff like working over here. I could see that I'm in frame, but I could also read your comments right here because I open up another window. So I just figured that out, which is nice. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any comments or concerns, yeah, feel free, you know, to hit the chat, hit up the chat. All right, being that this is cotton, I'm gonna use slightly bigger tools to kind of get what I want, get the shapes that I want, because I want it to kind of still look fluffy but funny, you know, like like cotton candy. We're gonna make a lot of reference to cotton to cotton candy. You guys love cotton candy? I know I do. It's really weird because whenever the fair comes along or the state fair comes along, it's like, ooh, cotton candy, and then when you get there, of course you eat like way too much of it. And you're like, why did I eat all that? Why did I eat it? So as you can see, I'm just kind of adding details to give, you know, to kind of give the illusion of a beard, but at the same time, you know, the cotton, and that's what makes it funny. So, but yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen any episodes of Good Mythical Morning where Cotton Candy Randy is there, but I hope you have. And yeah, you could kind of see what he looks like and kind of figure out what kind of character he is. And it's really funny. Maybe I should add a clip to the live stream. I don't know. I'll probably have to ask them about that. It's so good though. Yeah, it is. I love it. Like I said, I'll never turn down cotton candy, that's for sure. Even though I shouldn't have it, it's like really bad, but what the heck, right? What the heck? Just eat it. Alright, so here what I'm doing is I'm just kind of adding certain little details to make it interesting, to make it fun to look at, and just kind of blending it all, you know, to the point where it looks uniform. Because that's one of the things that I love about doing these pops and stuff, is the fact that you can, you know, you can work the clay a certain way to where it looks like hair, you know, and you don't have, like, you're hiding the fact that it's clay, and that's what I love about it, right? So it's like, let's see if you could see that. But yeah, so you see I'm kind of messing around with the clay a little bit, moving it in certain directions to kind of build that illusion, right? To build that illusion. And that's a pretty good start right there. It's a pretty good start right there. And you know, I'm gonna be adding a little bit more, just to kind of build up the beard. Maybe bring it out this way some more, but we'll see. But I do want to make sure that, you know, it looks good, and you know, it sells the illusion, right? Where it looks like a little tiny guy. So you know, I want to make sure that that comes through, that translates. And you could do that with these tools. You know, you have all these different tools, and you have smoothing materials, and of course the alcohol, and you know, all of those things come into play. But this is the part of me doing custom pops where I just sit here and I model, you know. I model the clay and kind of make it look a certain way and feel a certain way. Alright, let's see. We got to shape this part out. Here we go. Ah, yeah. That's another thing too that I've noticed. You want to when you're modeling, you want it to, I guess, match the man. I can't talk today. You want the clay to match the skin as best as possible, because that way when you're painting, it's like the transition is almost flawless. You don't want to have any kind of gaps. And I guess the best way, because what I was thinking is I was trying to explain it and thinking about illustrating it, and what's the best way to do it. Let's see. Hang on. Stand by. Alright, so it is drawing time. Alright, so let's say the surface of your pop is like this, right? That's a poor example, but alright, here we go. Okay, so there's the surface of your pop. If you have, you know, if your clay is not properly, I guess, adhered to it, you'll have like these, you know, these gaps like that. And then of course when it comes to painting, you're gonna see those sort of things, and it's not gonna be really cool. And you know, so what you want to do is you want the surface of the pop to be nice like this, and then when you apply the clay, it's just, you know, it's uniform and it's nice. So I'll take pictures of that and show it, you know, close up on Instagram. That way you guys can see. But right here in the beard part right here, there's a little tiny gap. So what I do is I just kind of smooth it out. That way it's like it's stuck to the skin rather than just like have a little gap like that. You want it to be smooth. And that kind of sells the illusion, you know, it sells the illusion of this pop being like something real. Because you tend to see that a lot in toys. You'll see toys that have like gaps or lines in the armature, and like in the hands and stuff like that. And with the pops, you kind of you don't want that to be like sticking out, you know, because it kind of, like I said, it takes away from the illusion. So I tend to hide those sort of things. I don't know, it's just me. But I try to you know, hide it and smooth it out as much as possible. There's something funky here. All right. And what I do is I kind of, you see me almost like drawing on the clay. And the reason why is because I'm looking at how I want these lines to lay. Because even though it's a cartoon, or you know, a fictional character, I do want it to have some elements of reality. So back here, this is a perfect example, and let's see if I can get it on camera. But that's a perfect example right there. So if you see that line right there, that's the separation between the clay and the pop. So now I'm gonna smooth that out. And then you're gonna see the difference between the way it was before and the way it is now. So now, see that line is gone? That's because I smoothed out the clay, and now it becomes like part of the figure. And that's the sort of attention to detail that you gotta look at when you're making these things. Because again, you want it to look really cool. Blend this part here where the the mustache is going into the beard. And you know what? I want to, let's see. Do I have, here it is. I already had the tool. So this part here is kind of lifted up a little bit, and I wanna match it. Alright, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. So I hope you guys had a good week. I had a great week. It's been a busy week, but it's been good, you know, and I'm happy about that. On the way home, I heard that there is a key lime festival happening here close to my house. So that will be tomorrow, and I'm hoping I get to see that because I love key lime pie. I'm such a sucker for key lime pie. So I'm hoping I get to, you know, do that tomorrow. We'll see. We're supposed to have bad weather too, so I'm hoping the weather will behave enough this weekend to where we can do some fun stuff. But you never know. You never know. Alright, another thing you want to think about is the more you could do while the clay is malleable and with your tools, the less sanding and the less detail you'll be doing later on. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. And I try to smooth out all these little imperfections and all these little crazy things. I try to smooth them out as much as possible because it does save me later on with sanding. I don't want to sit here and sand this thing for hours and hours and hours. So I'm sure you're not going to want to either. I don't know if you've ever done one of these or not, but they tend to be tricky. And again, it's all in the level of detail that you add to your pop. Some people like sanding and they'll sand the piece until it's like really, really smooth. Other people do not. So all up to you what you want to do. It's all up to you what you want to do with your pop. I mean, ultimately it's yours. I'm just kind of showing you what I do with mine. And we go from there, right? All right, we go from there. Ooh, is it time? I think it is. All right, let me smooth that out. All right, here we go. It is time to play. It's time to play Strange but True. Strange but True. Let's see. Let's get this ready. Strange but True is the part of the live stream where I give you a strange fact just for giggles. Alright. Alright, here we go. You guys ready for strange but true? See, I was looking up the festival, so. Alright, here's your strange fact for the week. Let's see. I want to pick a good one. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, this is an interesting one. Alright, here we go. Strange but true. Japan is facing a ninja shortage. They're facing a ninja shortage. There is a high demand for ninja shows, quote unquote, but it is a dying tradition, and companies have trouble. They have trouble finding properly trained ninjas. Who knew? Who knew that they needed ninjas in Japan? Strange but true. So that's your strange but true fact for the week. I wonder if I can be a ninja. Probably not. Oh, that's funny. Probably not. Nah, I don't think I can get away with being a ninja. All right, so we're off to a pretty good start there. It's nice details, nice cartoony, fluffy details here. Let's see. We could probably do something like that, just like that. Yeah, that works. Now I kind of want to build the middle a little bit. So we're gonna get this piece of clay here and kind of build out the beard some more. Because again, I don't want to do it as fluffy as that image there, because to me it kind of takes away from the effect. But I do want to emphasize that he does have a big beard. So make a big beard without exaggerating exaggerating the big beard. That's the goal. So here we go. We're gonna add this piece here and kind of blend it in. And again, that kind of fills in the beard. It gives Cotton Candy Randy a big beard, and it doesn't interrupt with the painting down here, because that's another thing too. We're gonna have to get in here and kind of paint all that. And whenever you add a new piece, you want to use those tools again and just kind of blend everything in, make it look all nice, and just, you know, make sure that it's together, because that's the last thing you want. You don't want like a piece to fall off because it wasn't adhered the way that it should have been adhered. Now I'm closing the gap in here, blending this part up. There we go. Looking good. It's gonna be funny. Yeah, there we go. So now it, you know, it gives the illusion of that big beard, but we didn't go crazy, and we could still paint the pop with no problem. I'm gonna blend back here, and in the back, this part here, I'm not too concerned about what it looks like, just as long as it's like flat and I can get a brush in there, because of course the beard is gonna be pink, but his shirt is white, and I don't want to mess that up. So if I can get inside there relatively easy, then I'm happy with that. So with the tool, I tend to just flatten that part out. And you know, the entire time I'm thinking about just the rotation of the head. So if I'm able to rotate the head, I'm cool with that. He's got a big beard. There we are. And the level of detail is up to you. You know, however much detail you want to add to it, you can. That's up to you. A lot of the times when I make these custom pops, I have very specific parameters that I have to stick to. So if the client says, hey, I want an orange shirt, The shirt has to be orange. I want, you know, the hairstyle to be a little bit to the left or curled to the left or whatever. Then those are the kinds of things that I have to, you know, be aware of. I have to make sure that those kinds of details are in the model, because that would be, you know, the difference between a happy customer and an angry one. It's like they're entrusting me to do a good job, so I have to make sure I do a good job. And a lot of the times, these are all things that I talk to with my clients before I start a pop for them. And I give them a list and I say, okay, well, you know, what's the hair? You know, what color hair? What hairstyle? What clothes? All of those kinds of things are discussed before I do the commission. So thankfully for this one, I know what he looks like. I know what he wears, and it's, you know, it's a bit of a gift. So it's really up to me, the level of attention that I give to the pop. But it looks great so far. Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, I run into people that are like, "Man, I'm so sorry I missed the live stream," but that's the beauty of YouTube. Like, we're live right now, and if you're able to make it and hang out and this and that, whatever, cool. There was a lot of people hanging out in the previous live stream during the week because that's just, you know, they had time for it. But right now, this is laid back, no big deal. And you could always watch it again if you missed it. No big deal. There we go. But I like the opportunity of going live because, you know, people ask me questions. Well, where do you get your pops? What clay do you use? What kind of paint do you use? This and that. So this kind of gives people the opportunity to ask those questions, and I'm here to answer them. So that's why I love doing the live stream. Plus, we get to hang out. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. I mean, you know, I'm an artist, not an actor. So it's like, I don't know. Is it entertaining? I hope so. I just figured, hey, you know, if you're gonna watch a video of like melting ice for 2 hours, you could watch me make a pop for one. I don't know. It all depends on the person, I guess. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that right there. I'm thinking later on maybe add a little tiny piece right here, but I'm cool with this. And again, I didn't go like real deep into detail because it's cotton and I want it to kind of look fluffy. And we're gonna smooth a lot of this out now with the clay. And then once that's done, we can move on to the eyebrows. Do the eyebrows. I'm not gonna do the hair yet because I need to see where the hat's gonna fall. And in order to do that, I gotta bake it. So that's for sure. All right, here we go. So this is the alcohol, and I'm gonna be kind of smoothing stuff out. Like I said earlier, I want to be able to get back in here and not have any problems painting the beard underneath. So I am adding the alcohol to kind of smooth everything out. There we go. A lot of the times people will ask me, well, you know, how long does it take? It's like, how long does it take you to do a pop? It could be anywhere from, you know, a few hours to several days, weeks. It kind of all depends on details and what I'm doing to the pop and everything else. So they could take time. They could take time to get there. we have it. And again, with the beard, like I said, it's, I'm kind of smoothing it out, working the clay. Nothing too crazy. There we are. Not bad. Happy with that. Now this part here, there we go. It kind of looked like it just stopped, like I used, those are the kinds of things I look for. I look for irregular lines, things that don't look natural, and I try to get rid of that as much as possible, because I want it to, to look as neat and natural. So if a line flows this way, that line should keep flowing. And it doesn't look like just, like I plopped clay down, like, boop, and that's it. I don't want that. There you go. Yeah. That works. So here I do want to add that little, I guess, soul patch that he has. Only here he's got like a giant soul patch. So I do want to add that little piece there. And I'm going to get just another piece of clay and just add that little part right there. It's going to be cute. It'll be neat. Uh-oh. There goes my doggy. He was here earlier. My dog Coco. He probably heard a cat or something outside, because around here we've had like several cats that are they in the mood. And you hear them in the middle of the night making all these crazy noises, but yeah, they're in the mood. Oh, that's funny. Right, babe? They were like, the cats outside, they were going nuts, right? It's like, whoa. My God. But I don't know. I don't know if they, like, I don't know much about cats. I'm not a cat person, but I guess there's a season, or if someone has cats, they could explain that to me. But I'm assuming every animal has their season, and around here I can tell you, yeah, buddy, it's the season. They've been getting real frisky, and I felt bad for my neighbor because they had like 7 cats in their yard, and they were all like chasing the female cat. It was hilarious. It's like, it was funny, but I felt bad for them because it's like, late at night, and you hear the freaking cat, like, just going nuts out there. Like somebody has to throw a bucket of water at him. Cool down. Oh yeah, it was 7, right? It was 7 cats. Oh my God. Oh, you're you have to hiss at them to stop. Oh my God. So yeah, just like Neela said, there was 7 cats, right, babe? 7. Oh jeez. But I mean, luckily they haven't bothered us, but they have been like tormenting the neighbors, and I felt really bad. I'm like, hey, sorry. And of course, the one neighbor came over. Are these your cats? It's like, nope. Nope, they're not mine. They drive me crazy. It's like, I totally understand. I get it. But no, they're not mine. And of course, I've known all my neighbors for years, so it was really really funny to have that particular neighbor come over and like, dude, these your cats? It's like, no man, they're not. But yeah, they were, ooh buddy, they were in rare form. They were in rare form. All right, so like I mentioned before, I don't know if I want to, do a lot of videos on this. I guess if you like them, we'll keep doing them. But I was thinking of kind of doing a lot of this work, like, behind the scenes. Like this weekend, I could continue the modeling and go into painting next week. So I might do that. You kind of get the idea of modeling and how I do all of that stuff. I just kind of learned this skill by just trial and error, practicing. A few years back, I got into like clay modeling, so I'm, by no means am I an expert at this, but it's pretty forgiving. Once you learn the basics, you're able to, you're able to do this sort of stuff like this. So there you have it. It has some kind of detail of hair, but it's not like uber detail like I normally go into. So yeah, this is gonna go into the oven and cook nicely, and hopefully we'll have a pretty cool pop. Pretty cool pop. I put in his soul patch. Oh man, can you imagine? Crazy cat. Like dogs, dogs get in the season too. But they don't make crazy sounds. My next door neighbor. Oh. Aha. Oh my god. Stray cats. Yeah, I mean, of course that's the reason why they encourage people to like spay and neuter them and the cats and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not a cat owner, so I don't know all that goes into it, but I'm sure there has to be like some level of control because they tend to have a lot of babies. The cats have a lot of babies. They like their happy time. Well, you can't blame them, right? Okay, so this is looking pretty good. I am happy with that. I like it. And then of course I'm gonna add the eyebrows. Let's see. I want the same amount of clay, so I usually make a little ball like this. Like if you have one piece that you want to make equal, and then of course get that piece and slice it in half, and then you have two equal parts. There you go. And there you go. There are your two equal parts. And he's got these crazy fluffy eyebrows. I want to make him mad though. We don't want Cotton Candy Randy to be upset. And it's, again, it's the same thing with this. I smooth it to where it's right up against the surface of the pop, and then do all my detail work from there. Oh. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean for us, I guess this is kind of like the first time we've seen this here, right? Like to this level, I guess. But yeah, normally we don't have like a lot of that going on because a lot of the a lot of the families that live in my neighborhood are pretty much dog owners. There's a lot of dog owners. There's a few people that have like cats, but at the same time, um, they're like they're house cats, so they're not out on the street very much. All right, so here I'm kind of just giving the illusion of like cotton. Yeah, it probably won't focus, but big poofy cotton. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just driving the it's driving the neighbors crazy. Are those your cats? Nope. He didn't, he didn't come over all mad like that. But he tends to talk loud, so it kind of seems like he is. Are those your cats? Like, no, they're not mine. Sorry. I guess they would have to do something. Like animal control would have to do something. Like you're saying, Lila. I don't know. It was just funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Forgot about that. So that's probably where they're coming from. You mind doing something about it? Take your cat. It's like an ongoing debate. You have like cat people and dog people. But I mean, we love animals just the same. We just happen to be dog people. But I'm not gonna like get upset, if I see a cat or something. All right, here we go. That looks pretty decent. He's got like big old bushy eyebrows. And so yeah, there's the beard. I didn't want to go too crazy. I didn't want to make this crazy looking beard. But this is looking good. I'm happy with that. I'm real happy with that. So there you have it. Next week I will hopefully have the hat done and it'll be primed and ready for paint. So we should be painting this pop next week, and we're pretty much like close to the end. So I'm happy about that. I'm real happy about that. That's real good. That's gonna go in the oven. But before we go, it is time for another segment. This is the segment of the live stream I like to call Brain Tickle. Brain Tickle is our weekly trivia. And let's see, what did I give you last week? Oh, the answer to last week's trivia is Australia. Australia was the answer. Let me see. Where did it go? Yeah, so last week's trivia, the answer was Australia. So if you want to play along with the trivia, all you got to do is just listen to the one trivia question that I give you, and if you know the answer or you think you know the answer, leave it in the form of a comment on this video. So here is your brain tickle for the week. It's an easy one. All right, here we go. Which American actor performs music under the stage name Childish Gambino? That is that is the brain tickle. I'll read it one more time. If you know the answer, leave a comment on this video. Which American actor performs music under the stage name Childish Gambino? That's it. That is your brain tickle question. for the week. We're gonna have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, so that pretty much ends the live stream for this week. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. As always, thank you so much for watching, for joining in the chat. Of course, you know, I'm sure we'll catch other people next week. But yeah, I do appreciate everything you do. I do hope that you like these videos and you're learning how to make custom pops for yourself. Or if you're an artist and you want to get into custom pops and want to make custom pops for other people, this is a starting point for you all. So there you have it. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Same time, 8 p.m. Friday night. Friday night. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And destroy the like button, please. That helps me out. That helps me a whole lot. Alright, we'll see you guys. See you next week.